Hello and welcome to Critical Tumble, where a bunch of longtime friends and internet nerds transcend geography through the power of Discord to play Dungeons and Dragons, and unfortunately have to skip for health reasons and Canadian Thanksgiving, which I guess kind of qualifies as a health reason because too much turkey will tend to cause various amounts of narcolepsy. Anyway, previously, the Cupcake Coterie arrived in the city of Anbeer, home of the Heavens Ward and the best food on the continent, mostly to be attempting to free the Protector Azamar from overprotective house arrest. That did eventually happen in a very roundabout and in ways unfortunate and kind of Pyrrhic sort of way, but it did actually happen with everybody eventually walking out of there alive. Unfortunately, part of the roundabout ways that this got solved was Bahir Zet having to basically out himself as a gold dragon, which will have repercussions on the rest of the governors, and that's kind of going to have some effects on the political structure. But they're still in Anbeer for a couple of days before they have to go on their tour of the rest of Equitas to speak to the various governors or be yelled at by some of the governors, depending on how the governors are feeling about things at that precise moment. We already know how one is going to react, probably. Maybe. We just hope it does not go directly to teeth. Anyway, in the meantime, there are a couple of other things that do need to happen. One thing is Hazel has located her biological father and wants to do things about that. And the other thing is still doing some research into the darker gods, which they kind of need to tidy up somewhat. But that's actually a pretty good excuse for Darvin and Faraday to not be with us after the best meal any of y'all have ever had. Morning happens at the plantation house of the Mobius twins, and you are once again rousted from bed by Nyala banging on doors. Wakey, wakey! You have a day. You have a breakfast.
A day that almost got eaten by food coma. Oh boy.
Yeah, well, we stuck with light breakfast. Light breakfast in this particular city and particular province involves fresh fruit salad, croissants, with associated cheese, oatmeal, and sausages. That is a light breakfast.
Light. Everyone says light, and then this turns up.
Well, it's croissants. They're light.
Not questioning it, just rolling with it. Not questioning it, just rolling with it. Not questioning
it. And we kind of had to include the sausages because some people are really into their protein, and cheese doesn't always do it.
Not questioning it, just rolling with it.
Makes sense. It could be. It's a lot less greasy than some breakfasts. I can see where you would qualify that as light.
Thank you. Somebody sees the logic. I mean, admittedly, Alana kind of pounded that logic into me over about 5 years, but we're not just going to stick a plate of croissants in your face. We don't do that here. And Faraday is going, now that it's daylight, and maybe if I have somebody with me, I could start doing some preliminary research in that Street of the Lost Gods. Darwin is just, I'll go with. I mean, Clarity, I know you'd want to, but also supporting Hazel, so.
Yep.
I promise we will at least try to keep your spirit of scholarship forefront in our minds so that we don't have a messy stack of information that you tutted us over.
Well, if you find something interesting, either make a note or buy a book for me.
Faraday, yeah, I don't know, because I didn't go too far into those places. I don't know if you buy the books, and if you do, I don't know if you pay with money. Darvin is just, ooh, okay. Faraday's, besides, I figure if you could buy those books, that mean there'd be more than one of them, and people would know this stuff by now, so I wouldn't, we wouldn't have to go down dark alleys to find it.
Sure. Notes are good.
Yeah, I mean, I think at most we're probably going to have to pay to take notes. Librarians still need to eat. I don't think I'd trust anything that grows in the yards in that alley.
Sense.
We need to be careful down there.
Yeah, I mean, like I say, it's daytime, and it probably wasn't that bad. It was just dark.
Yeah, it could have been
creepy.
looked worse than it was because it's dark.
Could be, but I guess I can just breathe ice at them until they go away if they're going to be unpleasant at me. Darvin is just, I was going to say dimension door away and run, but that too. Alice is basically making a sausage and cheese breakfast croissant. So it's seeing about Hazel's biological father. Barnabas, you probably have some errands to do after that, don't you?
I do, yes.
And I guess in the meantime, I guess the rest of us discuss what we're gonna do in the meantime. When people are done with important things, or I'm sure we can help with the important things on some levels.
Please, because I still don't know what I'm going to say.
I mean, I think a lot's going to depend on if... I don't know that he would recognize you necessarily.
Yeah.
Do we even know if he knows about you?
Well, I don't think he does. How would he?
He probably doesn't know I exist.
So you're just gonna have a look at him and see what happens from there?
Kinda, yeah. And hope I don't put foot in face quite as badly as usual.
You've got to set your back. You'll be fine. And Darwin is like, yeah, that's another reason why it's good I'm not going. I mean, Alice A can write the story of that. That's fine. Whatever happens, it's gonna be okay, Hazel.
It'd be weird, but yes.
I mean, one way or another, you got us.
And I'm glad for that. Infinitely so.
Ruffles the bangs a little bit and puts a croissant and a little bit of strawberry pomegranate jam in front of her.
Thank you.
Comfort via light personal contact and food. It's a thing. I mean, back me up, Clarity. That's what works for her, right? We did not hear a word of that.
Don't know why.
Ah.
Yeah, usually that's what she likes. There's cuddles also, not exclusive to me. She is a cuddler.
Yeah, but I mean, I might have done that, except she's kind of sitting across the table from me, and then my wings would probably hit some things, and then breakfast would be all over the floor. Sorry, we needed a laugh, so I was just gonna be that laugh. Without actually indulging in the slapstick, because I'm pretty sure they do something really nasty to you if you waste food in Anbir.
I'm
Given
just
how
looking
important
off to the
it
sides to see if the skeletons are watching.
Given how much value they seem to put into it, I wouldn't be surprised.
The skeletons, to be fair, most of them are out doing garden duties. There's one that's making a start on the dishes.
I'm not indicating anything. I'm just looking warily at the skeleton showcase.
And Alana is, what? They're not gonna hurt you. You didn't actually waste the food.
Good.
You're not allowed to turn undead, my friends.
Not going to.
You look like you're thinking it.
Is it at all strange that I'd completely forgotten that was a possibility?
Alana she does manage to get out of the room before she bursts out laughing.
You know what, the last few days we've had, I wouldn't say so.
Yeah, but in all fairness, that's kind of a cleric stock in trade, is Niala's comment about it. I think she's honestly just glad to meet somebody else who blanks on the important shit from time to time.
Net positive?
So how long exactly are you guys sticking around? Not like I mind. Given the crazy I already live with, you're only ramping up the crazy a tiny bit.
At least to stay, my son.
I mean, I imagine that a lot depends on what happens with your researchy stuff, but...
Yeah.
I just figure you're probably not going to want to keep people waiting too much anyway, and I don't want messengers from the other provinces turning up at the door.
Has that been a problem before?
I don't... Not for us, exactly, but do you know that those weirdos over in Egref have actually made parchment that, when in the hand of the person it's addressed to, yells at you?
Oh, God. We will make every effort to avoid that.
Yells, as in enraged screaming?
As in enraged screaming, whatever is written on the parchment.
Nope. Nope. Nope.
I mean, it probably wouldn't be so bad from Governor Weirdo, but they do sell that technology or magic or both on, and I'm pretty sure you don't want that from Her Grace,
The angry one?
the angry one.
No thanks.
She'd find a way to make it bite people.
Yeah, probably would. I mean, sorry, just flashing back to some individuals a while ago who were carting around a baby mimic. It was a jewelry box.
Or
Ah. Hmm.
is it
What
bad that I
happened?
find that adorable?
No, but you would love your patron's place, because every stick of furniture in her palace is friendly, sentient mimics.
Oh, God.
Ugh.
That seems
And Niala's like, "Hey, Lana, show them Fluffy. I'm gonna need a
Fluffy.
couple of the Mr. Boneses to help me carry Fluffy. Then do that, then." And she runs into the kitchen, followed by two skeletons, each carrying the side of a very large potted fern. And a couple of eyes sort of open in the pot. Blink, 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 blink.
okay. not
Rustles
really.
apparently happily. The skeletons put the pot down, and it does a little tappy dance. It was a lot smaller.
Big do
Wow.
they get?
And Alana is like, "Well, it depends on what they want to be, really. I mean, I'm pretty sure that the Fluffy here could be like tree-sized if Fluffy wanted to be, but then Fluffy wouldn't fit in the house. And most of the ambient magic that Fluffy absorbs is in the house, so... Because it's not like they eat people, you know. Well, most of them don't eat people anyway. The good ones don't eat people. They soak up ambient magic.
Today I learned.
The Fluffy somehow manages to tap dance wiggle out of the room.
What?
And it goes and makes its home back in the front room. Dunk. Fluffy!
Was there the whole time.
Yeah.
I'm impressed.
Mimic.
And slightly terrified.
Learn something every day, I suppose.
Niala's, yeah, I mean, if you were friendly with the furniture, it was nice to you. The wardrobes helped you pick out an outfit for the day. So did the chest of drawers. The bed tucked you in.
That's on the list of places that needs to be visited.
Well, her patron. Pretty sure you could get an invite if you wanted one. Again,
That
we
being
did
most
not
of
hear
the
that.
Why
was
visits
just-
need to
yeah.
happen.
So yeah, just I don't know who's running her husband's place now, but I don't imagine it got any better.
Do we want to know?
Probably not.
It was, you know, those rundown, creaky, imposing stone piles of castles that go into every penny dreadful adventure horror story.
Iron
That.
Crown. Well, Black Crown was what it turned into, but
Probably. I mean, it's been a while since I've seen that area, so I'll take your word for it. But yeah, I guess. This was the seas of rats.
Hmm.
And apparently, anesthetic and crowd control involved stunning mallet.
That seems tame.
Carnival game.
No, as in they hit you with a mallet.
Huh.
There was one that just headbutted you. It was a thing. Headbutted Lana, and she was sort of out of it for a good few minutes.
That's
What?
the one we need to go over there. Anyway,
You're still a little stunned by that
Yeah,
mimic thing.
and
still.
we haven't even I haven't even tried to explain Chance's part of the island yet.
There's another one?
Yeah, I don't know what relationship Chance had to the other two, but they share this island. You have Lady Whimsy, you have Lord Asshole, and you have Chance, who runs a really interestingly architecturally designed casino. Gambling house.
Stranger than Egrith?
Imagine if you took Egref and then you made it classy.
What?
Yeah, that does not compute.
But it is.
No, I mean, you went to the world over.
Yes.
Think that level of fancy with the more streamlined architecture of, well, Egref.
Cleric equals error.
I would just advise not gambling there. If you lose and can't pay your gambling debt, you wind up decorating their sculpture garden for a while.
no.
Ah. That explains where a lot of the stories about Fae turning people into things come from.
Possibly. I'm just glad that no bard has ever turned how my friend Taniel managed to get us able to talk to the statue that we needed to talk to. And Alice is, oh fuck! I said that in front of a bard, didn't I?
You did. You did.
And Alice and Darvin is like, 2 actually, but I can let her have this one. All right, fine. She seduced them. Your elven friend seduced an archfey.
Just halfway through, like, croissant when that happened.
And that is not for inhaling, Hazel.
Sorry, what?
To be fair, Barnabas thinking about it. Not the only. Now he's not the only person who's had a bit of a thing with an archfey. Not that you remember in any great detail, but you do remember something happened.
Hmm.
I mean, better her than me. I have zero interest in. And Alana's wasn't interested in them unless they had hooves. Well, I have a type. Not you. Sorry, I'm sure you're very nice, but the type involves more bosom.
That's fair. Everyone's got their preferences.
I'll say it's just I have to ask, what are your preferences, Barnabas?
Uh,
I mean, I'm not gonna judge. I like the little dark-haired butch ones.
yeah. I I don't know if I ever really sat down and thought about it. Kind of. I like women, and other than that, yes.
Ah, okay. So, yeah, I really was right when I pegged you with as whatever the opposite of monster fucker is.
Yeah, basically. Like, I'll be honest to you, a lot of my past partners have been people who had that sort of thing on the bucket list, took one look at me and went, jackpot.
Oh dear.
Which I'm not complaining.
No,
Been there.
but yeah, now I'm really wishing you luck on this date because it sounds like your lady's not doing that.
Yeah, that's one of the reasons why I'm so damn nervous.
Well, okay, so if I'm understanding this right, she showed competence at her job and you did that marry me thing.
Yes.
So you're very embarrassed about it, I can tell by your face.
Yes.
But she still asked you out after that.
Also correct, yeah.
So she's seen you with complete hoof-in-mouth problem, and then she continued to pursue you. To the
When you
point,
put it-
to the point of inviting you to her home, which, according to your book here, says that it is a show of absolute trust because it is an Amberian's home is their castle, and they are letting you see how they live, and that's really important.
Yes, and with it, the pointing going like that, that's why I'm terrified of fucking this up.
Yeah, but you've already done the dumb. You've already done the dumb shit. Is what I'm saying.
I know it's irrational. I know.
Yes, and I know I am not judging you for having an irrational reaction to this because it's not irrational, it matters, and therefore you're nervous. I am giving you an extra voice to fight the irrational because honestly, you must know this. Every time we've gone into anything stressed, nervous, and sure we were going to fuck it up, we fucked it up.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm just saying that she clearly likes you for you. Irrational and
Yeah.
all. You could go in painted up like a clown and she would think it was funny.
Ooh.
I wouldn't advise that, but I'm just saying.
Yeah. Well, thank you, Alice. I really appreciate that.
Well, you know, I mean, also, I know you're going to the bathhouse later anyway, but there's still the walk from the bathhouse to her place, and I know how your first smells when you're sweating and nervous, and you probably don't want that either. You can't prestidigitate.
No.
Ask at the bathhouse. I'm sure they'll be able to do something.
I will. I thank you for bringing that up. I wouldn't have thought of that either.
I am not just a pretty face. I don't know what I am half the time besides incredibly lucky, but I'm not just a pretty face.
I think badass at minimum also qualifies.
Among other things.
I try to keep that a little on the down low because an excess of ego is not attractive. Besides, it's like I have to be a little bit humble in that I've got some of the best people in the world as my new pack. So I clearly did something right, and I don't know what it was, but I'm just going to keep doing it and hope it doesn't go away anytime soon. On the subject of going, though, we should probably head in the general direction of out. Hazel, do you need a pep talk?
I'm good. On account of you guys already promised to kind of help / inspire / save my ass from foot-in-mouth incidents, so...
Well, in the meantime, Clarity, cuddles.
Okay, you know what? I am just going to scoop up Clarity and attempt to just cart her out the door.
Yeah, okay, at this point I am going to ask for an athletics check.
Let's see how badly I proceed to face plant. As athletic I may be, but consistently so, I have no idea.
Oh. Oh no.
You scoop, you go over backwards into the chair, and then the chair goes over backwards
Oh no.
and dumps you both onto the floor.
Oh no. Here we go.
With Clarity directly on top of Hazel and probably flattening her lungs rather a lot. I think Alisage, just so hell with this, gets up, grabs Clarity by the back of the shirt, yoink, lift, back on her feet. Grabs Hazel by the shoulders, lift, back on her feet.
Let's just go.
Get all the kinks out now. That's what we're doing. Scooting her out the door.
And yeah, down in the general direction of the docks, which you didn't have a particularly late night the previous night, so it's probably, given how late the sun comes up, just going on to a little past sunrise now. People are turning off the gas lanterns that serve as street lamps, and the Stacks is already open, doing business. The chorus of sea bears, the sea bears have a dawn chorus. It is very loud, yes. Kind of in that way that vibrates in around the diaphragm, because...
So, can anyone else feel that?
Yeah,
Yep.
that's some resonance.
Those be some sea bitches.
Yeah, well... They're sea bitches, but they're ambier sea bitches, so...
I think the last one, like, eating a hat as it ran past us, or flopped past. I don't know how to say what that was doing.
Yeah, thinking about it, I think I have some idea of... They were yelling Aka, weren't they?
Yeah?
Yeah, not usually from around here, that one, but, one of the Moskoi down south, more around your neck of the woods, actually. You hear stories about that one and their faithful sea bear, Aka, who, the eater of things.
Eater of the... And suddenly I'm concerned that that one's going to somehow find a way to try to eat my bow.
Yeah, as far as I can tell, it used to be mostly socks. Now it has graduated to hats. Because socks are harder to take off passersby.
Harder?
Well, how do you get socks off somebody if their feet are in boots?
Take the boot and the leg.
Yeah, but it doesn't want the leg, it just wants the sock. Also has a taste for notebooks. I talked to a trader once who actually made an edible notebook
Sorry, face.
And Clarity hugging her notebook.
I have concerns.
Like
A lot of confusion and also concerns.
Yeah, eater of things. I keep telling you. If you get the right Moskoy, you can get quite the comedy ballad out of Akka, the eater of things.
Oh boy. Well, we'll see who we run into in the process of wandering the docks, I guess.
Well, but to be fair, if you're hearing the sea bitch chorus, then you're already on the docks, and it's only a few doors down from the stacks that you just passed. That the little thatched cottage workshop that you're looking for is there, and it does appear to be open. But the individuals that you see in the doorway are definitely not Hazel's biological dad. For one thing, one of them is a full elf. Strawberry blondish kind of hair. This gentleman has what appears to be a human boy on his shoulders, and the little boy is hanging banner that reads kind of clumsily painted, "Welcome home, Papa."
He's kind of looking at this in total confusion.
And the elven man puts the kid down and calls into the place. And you've got a spot for the cake. Yes, Dad. I know what his workshop's like. I know, Dad. I didn't move anything too far. But I had to move some things because I didn't want them mucking up my cake. Sawdust does not belong in my cake. I make sawdust pie, but that's not actual sawdust, and it's different. That voice, youngish, so probably about 13.
Clarity, Alice, help!
Well, what do you want to do?
I don't know!
You have to Father's name?
Clarity's gonna walk up to the strawberry blonde elf and point to the sign and say, "Hey, having a celebration?"
Yes. Sorry if you're coming on business today. While my partner will be home in a few minutes, he's probably not going to get any work done today. He better not, anyway. I have been waiting months for him to come home, and I'm sorry, you don't need to hear about my family business.
That's fine. You know, sounds exciting.
The younger human boy and half-elven girl, similar strawberry blonde hair to the elven gentleman, and it's like, "Oh, hey." And the little boy is, "I like your horns. They've got little flower jewels on them."
Yeah, pretty nice, huh?
They're really pretty.
Thank you.
I
They were
wish
a gift.
I wish I had horns. We can decorate your hair at some point, but we'll talk about it next time you're in Egref. Maybe we can do a temporary thing. Yay! Go and do things with the balloons, okay? Okay. Sorry, can I help you?
Oh, this might be your partner. What's his name? I have it in my notes somewhere. And Audrin?
We'll go with that. Yes, Andrin. He's, You probably won't be unduly prejudiced about this. I hope I'm making the right call here. Partner in a wide variety of senses. He's my husband.
Oh, okay. Yeah. That's cool. She's my girlfriend, so
And
not that you care.
Alice is just also wife. Well, you really understand this whole thing, don't you?
At this point, I'm walking over because I'm just too stunned by this whole situation.
The girl is like, I like the ribbon. Not a lot of people can pull that off.
Well, it was a home thing back in Baronsphere.
Oh yeah. Sorry, we don't mention Baronsphere all that much anymore. The elf kind of looks. I'm going to see about the snacks. Come on, Brian. Yep. Yes, he didn't get the best reception the last time he tried to do business in the Elven Wilds. So we tend not to bring it up.
I am so sorry about that.
I mean, I appreciate the sympathies, but it's not like you would have had anything to do with that. They would have done worse to you, as far as I hear.
Kinda did.
There we go. We're actually not here on business, but we were hoping to have a talk with your husband at some point. It doesn't need to be right away if you're having a family thing. So,
What is Hazel doing emotion-wise right now?
Looks distinctly guilty.
Okay, I have a feeling that this is going to dump some things onto my family's doorstep.
Lovely.
look at
Sorry.
Hazel for confirmation. And it, like I said, it doesn't have to be today. We don't want to intrude on anything. We're just wanted to have a chat.
Yes, that would work if I didn't know that nose.
Oh dear.
It's obviously none of this is your fault. You were far too young to have anything to do with any of it. And from what I'm understanding, you were probably treated like... I can't even say it because there is a small child on the other end of there. He hurt over the way things were left for a long time. And I understand that you're coming here and looking for something. And you're clearly going to tell him things that are going to hurt worse.
And now that... Well, now that I can see that things are... I see that things are going this well, and that it, I'm not sure I should.
At this point, Alice steps up. I mean, I don't know what Hazel is after exactly. Beyond, I think what she managed to find out was that, if nothing else, the woman he maybe thought treated him really, really badly at the end wasn't who he thought she was.
Yeah, I guess if anything, I was hoping to, I guess, convey closure, but if that's already happened, I can go.
He deserves to know the truth, but you only just found out, and it was important for you, even if it was painful.
I think it's difficult to have the actual physical person turning up on your doorstep demands an immediate response and reaction. I'm only keeping as calm as I am about it, because believe me, some of the things I've heard, I am having a lot to process too. I had to help him through a lot of it. But
Thank
having
you.
the actual physical person there, it demands an immediate response, and if it's not the right one, then that's problematic for all concerned. And I love him, but he's a little emotionally volatile. So here's what I would suggest. Because I do not have the right to keep him from knowing things. But I also don't think that springing this on him when he's just come home and has to deal with the reality of you directly in his face, right off the bat, I don't think that's going to get a good reaction from anybody. So, he leans to a desk, grabs some parchment and a drafting pencil. Write it down. I will give it to him tonight. If you can be in town another couple of days, give him some time to process it. You've had that time. He hasn't. Alice is like, do you want me to actually put the things to words? I tend to be a little better at those.
Yeah, it's safer that someone with the actual skill to do that does it than I do.
But just tell me approximately what you want to say. And I'll fill in the blanks.
Gotcha. Right. Oh boy. I'm having some difficulty coming up with it as well.
To start with, I guess I would start with, I know this is probably going to be a shock for you, but, and then explaining who you are. That Lady Emavela had a daughter, and that was you.
Yeah.
Explain from there that you didn't live, explain to them the actual family that raised you. That you're not, that'll get across that you're not coming here because you don't have a family. So it feels like you're not demanding anything of him, if you see what I mean.
Yeah.
It's just writing. And from there, go on with, I just felt that you should know that I recently discovered that the woman who gave me away, who probably was horrible to you, was not in fact the Lady Emavela. Explain that situation and explain that explain that she has passed away
Hmm.
because she deserves to know, and that you are going to seek justice for what was done to your biological mother and the woman he loved. And then finish off with, I will be staying at the Bone Orchard for another 2 days. If you have any further questions, and if you need longer to think, then you give them Hearthhome's address. Well, you just tell them, send something to Hearthhome, sell something to Hearthhome in Baronsphere, and I will hear about it.
Yeah, that's probably
And
case in point. That's why you're the wordsmith, and I'm just swell.
and finish off with that you're glad that he has found the same kind of wonderful family that you have. And while you're making no demands of him, you would not mind having him and his family as a part of your life. But you will leave that up to him. And the elf is just leaning in the doorway while you guys are having this conversation. The Alice is using the wall to brace the writing and going,
This one is our common sense and most of our ability to speak without proceeding to put every single one of our appendages inside of our own faces.
I'm the speech-capable, emotionally stable one.
Heh. Look at the elf. I know I sort of already said this, but thank you again for making sure everything's gone well for him.
I love him. He's a bit of a dork, but I love him. Davith, by the way, holds out a hand.
Hazel Hearthheart.
It looks at the hair. Your mother's hair was red. Oh, my lover, you have a type. I will give this to him after the initial celebrations for the day.
A good time, okay?
Well, we'll do our best. I think after he's had a chance to process, this will be a more pleasant surprise. But it probably helps to have some advance warning first. And the girl comes back and is like, you know I hear pretty well, right? Yes, you were gonna know too. Trisha, I'm not technically blood related to Papa, but she's my niece.
Thank you as well. Seriously.
Wait there. It comes back with small bag. White chocolate macadamia nut cookies. They're Papa's favorite. So I made lots.
And therefore are awesome.
Well, I figure if Papa likes them, you probably like them too. And Brian sort of peers over. So you're kind of a sister?
At least on some level, probably.
It pulls out one of those things that you pull and confetti pops out. Because we're not telling Papa yet, that's the most I'm going to do for now.
That was adorable.
We try to raise them in a loving home.
You did brilliantly.
Good. Now, if you'll excuse me, I should probably keep an eye on Trish before she starts talking about maybe serving some of the appetizers to the local sea bears. I'm sure they'd shut up if they weren't so hungry. They can hunt, Trish. Have a good rest of the day.
Thank you so much.
Two.
Just move as rapidly in the other direction to not be in the immediate vicinity when certain someone returns, given the small time scale that is apparently incoming.
Yeah. I mean, to be fair, you probably only just you're probably maybe a block away and out of visual range when you hear the sort of more little pop-pops and surprise!
That is, on so many levels, a massive relief.
You okay?
Ironically, yeah. Still a bit guilty about springing that on them, but
Well, you know, there aren't a lot of options for how to do that kind of thing. And when you were given the other options, you took them as fast as you could.
and closure is closure one way or another.
Although, given the family he appears to be raising, I wouldn't be surprised if he turned up on the doorstep of the plantation house at some point. Or sent a letter, probably send a letter asking you to meet him someplace neutral. I probably wouldn't want to go up to the Bone Orchard uninvited either. I mean, it was bad enough when I teleported into the middle of their living room.
Yeah, us being adventurers, for us, this seems normal. I am willing to bet that anyone just from around here would hear Bone Orchard freak out.
Well, no, I mean, they live here, so it's not so much the freaking out, it's just, you remember even those Azamar heard something about the mice and and Mr. Bones and company.
Yeah,
So I'm pretty sure they've
To
heard
say-
stuff about up there. And the
Yeah,
undying Mobius twins, who apparently have so much mystique, which means that almost no one has actually met them.
which is kind of strange given how one of them behaves.
Yeah, I think the other one keeps her in check.
This is why I'm glad I have all of you.
Yeah, it probably wouldn't take all of us. I'm amazed that Nyala manages to keep her sister in check all by herself. Then again, she's been doing it literally since they were infants, so...
Yeah. And at the very least, as regards to well, our gaggle, at least there isn't any one of us who can assemble bones into assistants.
Not yet, anyway. I'm sure a couple of us
Everything
could...
else really creepy.
I'm sure a couple of us could figure it out if we had to. Anyway, to get off the creepy train for a little while, Barnabas, you needed the place where we got the portrait done?
Yes, and the bathhouse. Was the
Well,
after that.
yeah, no, you needed... Well, no, because you need flowers right in the way first. But you also need a locket to put the image in.
Yes, it is.
Probably should get that first.
Okay, yeah. You know, I had a place that my brain has gone
Street of Love and
blank.
Beauty.
But yes, it's the Street of Love and Beauty, but where? It's huge.
We look in windows and recall I have taste.
Yes, that I know.
So we'll look until I see something that I think might work, and then you have the final say.
Okay. Thank you.
Meandering we do.
Besides, we've got the day to kill. Also, I kind of want to get Farida a couple of nice bits of jewelry.
Hmm.
I mean, she fell in love with that dress, and it's just like everybody deserves a bit of shiny, even if they are shiny by design.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, onward to the Street of Love and Beauty. Is anybody looking for anything else beyond like the lockets and various other bits and pieces?
I'm gonna look for additional, like basically any more small scale jewelry for clarity and horn related things.
I mean, there are
Basically anything involving horn care.
yeah, there are. I mean, there's no place that specifically specializes in that, but a lot of the and there's a lot of places that specialize in hair care. There are a few, upmarket salon type places that'll do the absolute works, and most of those have adjuncts for. You know how in high-end salons they've got the
Wall of products.
yeah. Those also have, if you're not having the whole bathhouse situation done and you just want a horn polish, you can have that done there. So there's a few different brands of, horn polish and a couple of pumice stones for if anything gets chipped and that kind of thing. And as far as the jewelry goes, most of the jewelry shops have a fairly wide range that does include that sort of thing. And some of the more specialty places, apparently they have a relatively fast turnaround time on anything custom.
As I recall, the little flowery looking things. Similar one, but in green.
Yep, I mean, yeah, the main difference though is that the blue flowery ones that Alice got for clarity, their big draw is that they can be turned to matte black if she's stealthing, so that light doesn't catch the gemstones or the metal.
Yeah.
And they don't do that on the jewelry here.
The one that while it is akin to that would be easy to just pull and stash.
Something you could wear on a day when you're not expecting to have to stealth anywhere.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you can get similar kinds of things. For green, they tend to do more leaves than flowers strictly, but
any which option that happens to be just a smidge of green works.
Yeah.
Though flowers would be preferred.
I mean, you can get they're a little on the expensive side, but on the less expensive end, you can get little white opal flowers with green leaves, and on the more expensive end, you can get little carved diamond roses and leafy. The opal ones cost about 50 gold. The diamond ones, we're talking about Revivify diamond kind of cost.
Yeah, not even going near that. I'm gonna stick to the opal ones because honestly, I'm not gonna overdo this and blow entire party resource level kit for this. I want her to have something nice and pretty. I don't want her to be jumped for Revivify diamonds.
Fair enough.
She needs to be able to sneak, not attract sneaky people.
Mm-hmm. And I mean, what sort of design is Barnabas looking for in terms of a locket?
Oh, Probably something not gaudy or ornate, but simple, pretty simple, but really well made.
And Alice is like, well, I mean, here's a thought. They do have a pretty fast turnaround time on engraving kinds of things. And taps his little Azorius Senate badge. Maybe that design?
Actually, yeah, that would be great.
And
Oh yeah.
a few doors down from there, there's one that does boast a pretty quick turnaround time. And after a little bit of negotiation, you wind up with a very well made white gold with it's probably not sapphire, it's probably lapis or some very flat blue gem that they managed to set into it and just finish off the Azorius Senate design that way. So it takes about an hour, so you're probably about ready for lunch by the time it's done. But they do very good crafting work here.
Oh wow. This is spectacular. Thank you.
And I'm assuming payment is handled summarily.
Oh yes. And how much do I owe you?
That is 10 gold total. A little extra for the stones, you see.
Oh, more than fair. More than fair. No problem at all. Thank you.
And since we're getting to the approximate break time, we'll come back in a bit to handle the rest of things and see if there's anything else anybody wants to do while meandering around the city before we deal, at least in part, with Barnabas's second date, etc. And we're back. We are currently helping Barnabas do his bits of shopping in preparation for a second date, which will, I'm assuming, decide the course of things from here on out as far as long-distance relationships, requests for teleportation circles, shit like that. That's a good thing about long-distance relationships in a place where magic is a thing.
Mm-hmm.
Long-distance relationships don't have to be quite that long distance. As long as everybody has sufficient spell slots for the matter. So yeah, once the little locket has been paid for, and probably best to drop that in and get that properly enchanted before lunchtime happens. So Alice leads the way, and yeah, there's the wedding portrait art in the window, and people do actually stop and look at that and appear to be making mental notes for the next time. Next time we want a portrait done, we should come here, kind of thing. Alice is just yeah. Part of the reason I didn't really have to pay for any of mine was because this is apparently advertising.
It's
I mean, it is a wonderful piece.
and
It sure is.
very effective if you're paying attention to everybody else, people looking at it. So.
Yeah, I'm paying attention. I'm just trying not to get a swelled head about it. And the woman the half-orc woman who runs the place when Alice walks in is, "Hello, it is wonderful to see you again. We have had such business. How can I help?" She just gestures in a Barnabas word direction. In that kind of, please don't make me talk at this point.
I'm looking to get a portrait of myself, or he brings up like for this.
Oh yes, you're. Yes, we've had a little bit of gossip about why you might be wanting to do that.
Oh. Okay. Well,
You don't understand. Cherie is the catch. Very, very hard to. get the interest of.
Oh boy.
Oh, well. um,
I must
We
know.
broke him.
I must know how you did this. I must know how you stood out from all the rest.
I stuck my hooves in my mouth. To be honest,
Metaphorically.
I was just about to
it
say.
was almost literal.
Well, I was just about to say there are some people you pay a great deal of money to watch them do that.
Basically, we were. I met her at her work, and we were waiting for something, and well, she was incredibly both attractive and competent at what she was doing, and putting a pair of assholes in their place, and I did.
Oh, is this that blueberry bush case?
Yes.
Yes,
it was.
She had been dealing with them for like 2 months. So.
Well, but she was just going off on those idiots, and the words, I was just sort of just poleaxed by the whole thing, and the words "marry me" just sort of fell out of my mouth. I didn't expect her to actually hear it or react to it, and here I am.
Cherie is secretary, a very good one. She hears
Mhm.
all. The fact
well.
that she responded just means she thought that your willingness to be forthcoming with your interest is probably what did it.
I guess. I'm still feeling like the luckiest fool in the plains right now, but
Well, I'll tell you this much. About 2/3 of Anbir's upper middle echelons, they agree with you.
oh, holy.
Like I say, there's been no shortage of attempts.
Be prepared to duck.
Oh, they can.
Oh no! They're going to be watching to see if they can figure out how to replicate the charm.
Replicate the charm from a dumb accent. Good luck.
I think it is charming. And I think there are going to be an awful lot of people who are going to be trying that accent.
Okay.
It
I'm not. Well, I guess the gossips will have some. There'll be some entertainment going around then.
In any case, I'm going to take a quick look at you. And this is for tonight, isn't it?
Yes. I realize it's last minute, and I'm more than willing to pay any premium necessary.
No. You see, like I was saying to this one, and to this one, if she listened, this one's bad enough at compliments. Pointing at I'll then points at Remy. That one, she deflects them like I hear tell she deflects things with shield. Oh, it bounces back to the winged one. I am surprised the winged one does not metaphorically dump her head first into bucket of compliment. I do, actually. Mostly she just blushes at that point.
It's quite entertaining. It's very entertaining when it happens.
So, no, that has given me so much business, and honestly, I felt a little bit bad for only doing the little bits for them that I did. So, on the house, I mean, you don't mind if it? No, I'm all for this.
Oh, yeah. Thank you. Yeah.
I think. Are we just doing the bust in the head, and bit of the shoulders?
I believe that's what I was planning on, unless that's unusual.
Well, Barnabas being Barnabas probably flips through the book, and at this, according to the book, at this stage, just the bust is probably about where you want to go because you don't know how physical you're getting yet.
Mm-hmm.
And so full body might be a bit much. But it covers everything. It details everything it means to, and it also makes it easier for the artist because they can focus more on things like facial expression. And in fact, the gallery owner actually asks, "So, what sort of thing are you trying to convey with face?" I mean, are we just it? I suppose if you being you is what attracted her to you, then it should just be you. But I'm assuming
Yeah.
smiling you.
Yes. Yeah, definitely smiling me.
There you go. Yes, I was actually waiting for the to see, and actually does a okay. Yes, I have that fixed a silent image now. I will do this. You go. You do whatever other shoppings you need to do. You leave the locket with me. I should have. It's just the bus, so it should be done in a few hours.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Not at all. I will only ask one further thing from you. If you're staying beyond, I mean, assuming you're not running screaming into the night after dinner with her.
No.
Unless she chases you out with a broom, which I don't think is going to happen. But
No, but be prepared for all instances.
no, I wouldn't worry too much about it. I would assume that Woofles would take care of that.
Got it.
She has a pet. She has a pet. I suppose I should probably warn you. She has a pet displacer beast.
Displace a beast. Named Woofles.
Woofles, yes.
Well, I hope they like me.
I'm just watching Clarity's reaction.
You want to chaperone him to Cherie's house just so you can see Woofles, don't you?
I mean, maybe.
Yes, you do.
Smart money's on that.
I would not advise you to stealth onto the property to meet Woofles.
No, I would not. And I would not want to jeopardize Barnabas's date.
That's entirely fair, but yes, no. Actually, if Barnabas looks through the book, it can be customary to have friends at least see one to the door at this kind of thing. Not go in, obviously, but it is basically standard procedure in any world that has adventurers in it, because sometimes things go awry and they will want to know the last place he was seen if something happens. It is considered common sense, not offensive.
Oh, well, Clarity, it's apparently pretty normal for this sort of thing for friends to at least escort me to the door if you want to come along to possibly maybe get a glimpse of Woofles. I'd be more than happy to have you for that.
There we go. To be chaperone?
Well, just to the door. Just that's it's more. From what I could read here, it's more of just confirming the last place I was seen alive, kind of thing. Well, adventurers. So that makes sense.
Oh, yeah, I mean, I think there's a footnote, something about you can arrange to meet at a spot close by if you're not spending the night. There is a tradition involving sending a message to the place saying, "Don't wait up."
Man, they think of everything.
pretty sure this whole country was founded by what was effectively an adventuring party, so
because you guys are apparently still having this conversation, and the artist is actually starting the painting thing. Actually, a lot of this was set into place by the various original governors, which I'm thinking is probably the current governors now, because I've been hearing things, and I have a feeling you were to do with that, and I will ask it some other time. But the point remains that our governor, back in the day, wanted things orderly and no tripping over ridiculousnesses. So our courtships are arranged so that there is none of this miscommunication nonsense. It makes it very, very boring for the balladeers, but that's why we get all our imported romantic nonsenses from Belarus, Egref, places like that. At least until you lot came along, and now we are getting, well, we're getting a certain play from Egref, and that's entertaining out of...
And that's incoming. Fun!
And then Barnabas has the,
Yeah,
oh crap,
that's
I was
it.
laughing out loud in Alice's presence about that.
Look, Barnabas, if you really want... If you have the brain power left after, ask the mice. They will perform it for you. And then you can laugh all the harder. Assuming you are not moved by the resurrection scene. The artist is like, the crystalline mice at the bone orchard, they... Oh, fuck.
Yeah, that's happened.
I shall have to bring tithes of muffins and see if I can get them to stage a performance. Oh, for fuck's sake.
Here we go.
They're very talented.
I will ask the druid, because I think the ranger might have some problems with this, but I will ask the druid. Yes. Pain. Fuck. Right, we're going to find a light lunch for Barnabas because we have a feeling that Cherie is going to feed you very, very well, and you would like an appetite for it.
Yes. I'm hoping. But yeah, that light lunch would be... I wouldn't be able to handle anything heavier anyway, just on account of nerves.
Yeah, I thought that, but I was trying to save face.
Appreciate that, but yeah, that'd be great.
And yeah, they wind up at sort of... At the end of the day, Alice kind of looks around and sort of on the edge between the street of Love and Beauty and the street of Plenty, you have effectively a burrito cart. I mean, it's a moderately long burrito cart, because apparently you get a whole lot of choices of what you want in it. But this is Ambier. That happens.
Mm-hmm.
This is probably going to be interesting for Rylan, who is more or less used to food rolled up in flat bread, but not the level of spicy smell coming off some of those.
Huh. Not the differentiation I would have guessed. Something I'm used to.
Ah,
Oh, that is a smell I'm interested in.
why am I not... Come on. You have a gnome on one end and a halfling on the other. The gnome is the one who's looking at and taking order and looks at all of you for a moment. And he goes, okay, which ones of you need ingredients explained?
Honestly, probably all of us on some level.
Okay. We have beef, we have chicken, we have mixed seafood. That's for your meats. You also have some bean and cheese if you don't eat animal flesh. Peppers in various grades of spicy. Salsas in various grades of spicy. Guacamole, sour cream dip. I'm pretty sure you know what the fresh, not cooked vegetables are, but these are not hot peppers. And some sauteed onions and some raw onions and... Emily will be glad to put together whatever your hearts desire.
That begs the question, what are your preferences as the ones who are, who have the most knowledge of all of it would be the two of you, yes?
Yes, but it's not to do with the knowledges, it's to do with the taste buds. You are the only one who can decide what your heart and mouth truly crave.
I like the way you think.
But Emily is usually fairly good at reading the sorts of things that people will appreciate. And Emily peek. You basically want as much of everything as will fit together in a burrito and not taste atrocious.
Power surprise me.
And particularly the peppers and the salsa on the spicy end.
Summed up Hazel in a nutshell.
You want something light, not too spicy, and something to keep back for a palate cleanser afterwards, because you have a meal that you are really looking forward to coming.
You are really good at this.
Looks at
Yes.
Clarity. Seafood, because you have not had your fill of it yet. You lived somewhere landlocked, didn't you? Also, relatively spicy end.
Yes.
Looks at Remy. As long as it has meat in it and is not completely inedible, you're fine.
Mm-hmm.
You want something not too much on the spicy end, just enough to give it some personality. Probably chicken, because you haven't had that much of late, and you kind of miss it. You want something largely to do with vegetables, fairly fresh tasting, and is not going to set your mouth on fire. Looks at Alice.
Yes, that, please.
You want the meatiness and things that would normally set someone's face on fire if they were not you or her, pointing at Hazel. Right.
How?
And you would think, you would think she had a haste spell on, but no, it's not as far as you could tell. But you blink and Hazel's holding a burrito. You blink and Barnabas is holding a burrito. You blink and Clarity is holding a burrito, and on like that. And within about 30 seconds, you are all holding burritos.
What?
Okay.
That is 35 silver total. It will be up to 4 gold if you want churros and champorado for dessert.
Yes.
Yes.
That's a first.
Yes, absolutely.
And Alice leans over to Hazel. It's because she knows that champorado is basically really thick hot chocolate.
This does not surprise me.
But that burrito probably will.
Oh,
Yeah, you don't need to make a constitution save, but anybody else would. So that's, the cheeks are turning a bit red and there's a little bit of sweating, but you're fine.
Like the noodles with pain sauce I enjoyed earlier.
Yeah, but basically everybody gets a burrito to their immediate tastes, and once you're done eating them, you do get basket of churros and each a cup of the really thick hot chocolate for dipping. Thank you, and have a lovely day.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Alice,
Glory to food clerics.
seriously, the restaurants are nice and all, but sometimes you just gotta respect the food trucks.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I'm assuming because part because of the research and part because of Hazel's dad and part because of having an extra day or two if things go well for Barnabas wouldn't be bad. We'll have to make more of an effort for the food carts because walking down, and because it's lunchtime, more of the actual meal carts are coming out, and you've got various shish kebabs over there, people doing burgers over there. Somebody with a very large cauldron of what appears to be some kind of noodles in cheese. Basically macaroni cheese.
Out of curiosity, this is the spicy mac and cheese, or is there several cauldrons?
There's one big cauldron of the mac and cheese, but there's bits on the side that suggest that you can have additions.
I'm just sort of slowly drifting in that direction. Like, not even consciously, it's just...
I grabbed
Well,
Well,
come
I can
on,
read
let
this.
her
Darling,
look.
you have a burrito in your hand.
Actually, no. If you have the churro, she's finished the
Okay.
burrito.
That went down the hatch alarmingly fast, despite still being eaten properly.
Yeah, well, to be fair, burritos kind of have to be eaten fast, or else they kind of fall apart on one end. And
Mm-hmm.
given
They
that
either fall apart or start congealing, neither of which are good.
yeah, and given that Hazel has at the very least read about this kind of thing, because they're they've kind of been adopted by Egref, because it's something you can eat quickly and go back to the innovation. You can at least let her look.
I thought she still had her burrito. I did not
I was actually
realize this one.
talking to the restraining hand of Ava.
Alright.
So are you still drifting over?
Yep, just sort of sliding in that direction. It's really very strange, because usually I'm supposed to be moving my feet. I don't look like I'm doing that. It's like I just slid.
What you have manning this stall is 3 kobolds.
Is there a trench coat?
Not at the moment.
Yeah.
Not at the moment, but you never know. Maybe later. Hello!
Greetings.
We speak little common. How can I help?
I'm very curious. I'm gesturing to the giant cauldron and the option ones.
Cheese noodle. Things you can put in cheese noodle.
How spicy?
This bit not so spicy. You have here chickens. Well, not whole chickens. Bits of chickens. Cooked bits of chickens. We've had this problem before. Broccolis. Some people like it with tomatoes. I think they are very weird, but eh. But these spicy peppers, more spicy peppers, even more spicy peppers, spicy onions, sauces, powders.
The grin, the Joker grin is starting to manifest.
Do you want the foom noodles?
Yes. Yeah, you're starting to see if you're looking at Hazel from behind, I'm vibrating.
Is 3 copper for the boom noodles? Little cup of boom noodles, or do you want bowl of boom noodles?
Ball. Yes.
2 silvers for the bowl of boom noodles.
Yeah, I'm paying for that immediately and handing over. And basically, I'm just doubling the payment because this is amazing.
Yeah. So basically, you guys watch. Whether you heard or not, you see a couple of ladlefuls of macaroni cheese, and then peppers, more peppers, various different kinds of onions, bottles of sauce squeeze, powders, shake, and you can smell it from half a block away as they stir everything into the bowl and mix it up. And it's actually in a bread bowl, so you can eat the bowl too. They're very big on not having, a dish waste.
The grid is still there as I'm profusely thanking the kobolds.
You gave us the extra. You should have. Most people have their personal utensils. You should have these. Rummage. Boink. Pulls out a fork, which is a little wonky. It's clearly been handmade, and there is a kobold tooth painted to look like a chili pepper on the end. Is your personal fork.
Oh my God, I love you people. This is great.
Okay, are you going to scoff the foom noodles?
One foom noodle attempt incoming.
Yes, see, this is going to require a Constitution save, and you don't even have advantage on this one.
Yes. 12.
You are finding that this is approximately your limit. You're going to want a milkshake. You imagine the milkshakes here are very good, but you're enjoying it too much to care that you're burning your mouth badly at this point.
This is amazing.
I'm going to go get her something ice creamy to drink.
Look, and I'm just gonna hold it like vaguely near Rylan.
Okay, unfortunately, Rylan, you're going to need to make me a Constitution save because the fumes off that are problematic.
God. Yeah, I am.
So.
Cannot say I'm surprised. 3 on the die.
Oh, no.
Your eyes
It's
are
more bad.
watering, your nose is running, and your sinuses are screaming in pain right now.
But they've never been so clean.
Slowly backing away.
I'm gonna have to hand of fate this one because at this point you can't see.
Nope.
Oh no. You just slammed into some kind of food cart. For those of you who can see, it appears to be some kind of... they seem to be doing corn. Corn on the cob. So
Just like, I'm
won't...
sorry, I'm blind. I've been blinded.
The human who's working this one is going... Somebody ordered the foom noodles again. Yeah, okay.
I just go and guide Riley back.
Cannot see.
I just go and guide Riley back.
Once the foom noodles are away from you, and you wipe your eyes a bit, it's better. But yeah,
What is that hazel?
And I quote, "Foom noodles, made by a glorious set of kobolds."
I'm going to have to try that later.
Look, even the bowl is edible.
Yeah, from what little I know of this place, most of the food stalls will have their food in edible containers just because they don't want people having to throw away plates and things. It's a waste management issue. Most people have their own personal utensils that they carry around, which I'm assuming Hazel now has one.
I'll pick up the jank fork.
The kobolds made that themselves. That's kind of adorable.
This is amazing.
Hey Barnabas, at least you've got a funny story to tell over dinner.
I am offering some of this to Clarity.
I'm going to be coming back on a different day to try that. Not today.
Alice A kind of rummages, pulls out a fork of her own. Punk. Yump. Yeah. What? You remember where I mostly grew up, right?
Mm-hmm.
It just feels like everybody went really, really quiet. So it's like, are you all staring at me because I can actually take this shit? Oh, Hazel, here. And, milkshake.
Yeah, I'm going to be in a food coma before today is over.
And I think we haven't even considered what we're doing about dinner yet. We might just have to patrol the food stalls.
It's not the worst idea.
Be in and around the vicinity for whatever messenger and Flitty in Ryland's Scarf. I can be the messenger. I don't think I want the food noodles though.
No, I would be shocked if you did want the food noodles.
The food noodles got very close, so I really buried into the scarf.
Did it help?
Kinda. It was like a face mask. You should have pulled up the scarf so that it covered up your face.
Live and learn.
And then again, your nose goes runny, and then somebody would have to prestidigitate your scarf. It doesn't sound right in Sylvan. But I can be the messenger for the bullman. Is nobody telling Barnabas any of this? Because
I don't think so.
yeah, because that's Sylvan, and I mean, Clarity can kind of understand it, but she's probably over there.
Ryland translates for Barnabas. We have a messenger in case one is needed.
Thank you, Flitty. That would be wonderful.
Flap, flap, flap. Toomp. Besides, I can help him navigate the bathhouse. Though the Azamar man, he said that there was a thing that we could get the bullman so that he could understand it when a fairy dragon said things. All Barnabas knows is that Flitty is on his shoulder, and from what Lily can tell from that angle, pointing at you. And adorable peeping.
Flitty, who also is offering to assist when it comes to the bathhouse.
Okay. That. Is there some place around here where I can pick up something to allow me to understand what Flitty's saying?
You probably want the Street of Knowledge for that. They've got a few bits and pieces that help with translations. And yeah, Remy and to be fair, he said this to Barnabas because Barnabas was there when Clin said that there were charms to let you understand a fairy dragon. So when you ask that, it's like, wait, yeah, Clin did say. I think the Street of Knowledge is a little off the Street of Love and Beauty, so if we head in this general direction.
All right.
And yeah, Clarity hasn't actually seen this section of town yet, really. And it's probably going to be very difficult to get her to leave. Because bookstores, scribe shops, far as the eye can see.
So many friends.
This is why I'm glad we got the milkshake. Because otherwise, I don't think I'd be able to track her back down again afterwards.
Barnabas leans over to Hazel. Worst comes to worst, reminder of the pet displays a beast.
And yeah, a few shops in, you do find Lennox's linguistic aids.
All right, this looks like the place.
Well, looks like a likely place for sure. You walk in, and sort of hovering behind a desk, flapping its little ears, is what I think is largely Clarity. Maybe Hazel and Remy. I think you'd need religion checks for that, if you two want to make them. I'm gonna have Alice make something similar, just because. Yeah, no, she knows. This does not surprise me.
20.
Yes, Remy knows.
Remy very much got the who's who on the celestial entities, and probably had some bits of conversation with Heskin. So, Hazel, are you rolling that?
Yep.
Hazel does not, but
14.
Clarity, Remy, and I'll say clearly, know that is a Holifant. The rest of you guys see a small elephant flying by flapping its ears. Small golden elephant flying by flapping its ears.
Blink, blink, blink. Milkshake before I say anything.
And murmurs,
Huh.
that is a Holifant.
What?
Does that set anything spinning?
That does. For with a 14, yes it does.
Is it like the little heffalump?
Yeah. And looks at you all. Where are you thinking of shopping at any point?
Yep.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Some of us are just
Barnabas.
thinking about because we don't seem to like people.
Barnabas. Whichever one is Barnabas.
That would be me. I'm looking for something to help me understand Fairy Dragon friend here because I do not speak Sylvan or Draconic.
I see. Now, you see, most of our extensive translation terms for all languages are a little bit on the expensive side, but if you're focusing on things spoken by one species, there we can help you.
Okay.
And it just sort of sinks behind the desk, and you hear a kind of clunk. If you look over, there's a trapdoor down there, and he's probably gone down into it. So hopefully he's fetching something. And a couple of minutes later, boomf! You hear the trapdoor sort of slam against the floor as it flies back up, and in trunk, probably the gaudiest fucking pendant known to sentient kind. It is garish levels of bling. Does Hazel in particular want to make me an insight check?
100%.
If anybody else...
26.
Yeah. No, Hazel, now that she actually recognizes what this thing is, this was a little bit of a mischievous one. It doesn't have to look like that pendant. This little critter just wants to see if Barnabas will fucking wear it.
looking at Barnabas, looking over at Alice with a like an eyebrow twitch, look, twitch.
And given that role, the look Alice is getting back is he has a very important date. Don't let him wear anything that fucking garish. Is the look from her.
Barnabas's facial expression is like, I don't know.
Take a step forward and just lean into view.
Might
Is there an alternative, perchance?
something a little less ostentatious, maybe?
Looks at Ava, who doesn't actually know that. Looks at Hazel, who does. He kind of sinks a little as the ears kind of droop. I'll see what I can find. And far less, cheerfully back down again.
Sorry, he has a bit of a date. An important one with a particularly famous secretary.
And then poink. Empty trunk this time. You're the one who's going out with Cherie.
Yes. Yes, I am. I didn't realize it big of a deal, but yes, I am.
She's the governor's secretary, sir!
Yes, that I'm very well aware of. I just didn't realize that.
She is one of the most sought-after ladies in Anbeer.
He's not used to this.
So it would appear.
Very much thank you for your assistance in this.
There may be men and women both coming to see if you are worthy. I am just saying.
Look, I knew this was out of my league from the beginning. I just didn't realize how out of my league it actually was.
Well, look at it like this. She has not accepted anybody. Except you. You back down the hole.
No pressure or anything.
Comes back up with a far less gaudy pendant. No, seriously, no pressure. She's already accepted you. She's invited you to her home.
I know. Still,
I'm more talking to this one. Anyway, clunk. That is 10 gold. It will allow you to understand fairy dragons when they speak to you.
Perfect. Thank you so much.
I am looking forward to hearing how it goes. The gossip network is wonderful.
I'm not used to people caring about that sort of thing. For me, this is kind of strange.
Oh no, you see, that's the thing. We don't really care about it from you. We care about it from her.
Right. Good point.
Just be careful if you go into her Grace's bower, because people might want to just see what your fighting is like.
Oh.
Good to know.
Okay.
If you like that sort of thing, then...
Yeah. If things become obnoxious, a message may need to be sent.
And Alice is like, just put on the pendant and let's get you moving in the direction of the thing.
Yes. Thank you again.
And yeah, if you put on the pendant, Flitty had been hopping up and down on Barnabas' shoulder. When he puts on the pendant, it's, can you understand me yet? Can you understand me yet? Can you understand me yet? Can you understand me yet?
Yes, Flitty. Yes, I can.
Yay!
Finally.
But, nuzzle.
No.
Maybe we should have got you one, Ray.
You know, that's not a bad idea.
I will get
Excuse
it.
me?
I will get it.
Thank you.
Given the options
and
presented, you might
Barnabas-
get the one.
Barnabas gives Hazel the look of like, I hope it's the gaudy one. I hope it's the gaudy one. I hope it's the gaudy one.
You know how to say what's about that.
Oh, that's the thing. The Holly Font comes down and actually comes out with the. It's very plain. It's in fact plainer than Barnabas's is. I have heard the stories. Clunk. It should fit on the same chain as your god symbol.
Thank you.
Still 10 gold though. It's an expensive charm.
That is very fair.
And yeah, when that's snapped into place, it's Flitty looks at Barnabas. Excuse me for a minute, and onto Flitty and onto Remy's shoulder. But yay,
Hi, Flitty.
yay! I mean, I can kind of understand you, but now you can understand me, and that's really important.
Yes,
Ow.
it is. I'm glad.
Alice gets one of her own because she can't speak any of Flitty's languages either. So, and it's not like she's hurting for money at all.
Mm.
There, now we have emergency contact network that actually works for all of us. So yeah, we were going to show Barnabas where the bathhouse was. And yeah, they guide Barnabas to Spirited Away looking building.
Clarity had to be dragged from the shop windows.
Yeah, well, to be fair, Alice probably just clicked, boop.
I'm coming back for you.
Newly purchased book. I will legit get her a whole extra notebook just to sort of walk a slightly faster pace.
No, she's not walking. This is Alice having grabbed, flung over shoulder like sack of potatoes. The kind of thing she does for Hazel. Yes, we will be coming back. It's fine.
There will be returnings and there will be purchases made.
That's going to be a hardship because money and space are finite, and then she has to leave some friends behind.
I think I still have room in my haversack.
We'll have to be very careful.
For every single title down that street.
No, but I can't buy all of them.
Yes, I know, and that's why I'm saying you have a few moments to emotionally prepare yourself for the fact that you will have to leave some of your friends behind for the moment. Besides, you could just be really smart and get a reading pass. See, they know that there's not really a library here. They just have the bookshops, and instead of buying everything, you get a little card. What color it is maintains how many shops you can go through and how many hours you can just read. And that gives you a better idea of what books you actually want to buy. So they all the shops here have a reading nook. And that's where the reading pass holders go.
I wish I had known this like 2 days ago.
I wasn't around to tell you that 2 days ago.
No, I understand that. But I wish I had known.
Well, you know now. And we still have a couple of days. And you can always come back. Sets her back down. And so, yeah, just shows Barnabas the Spirited Away bathhouse building. And so we'll just kind of be hanging around, and if it's a don't wait up situation, just send him back for us. and I'll talk to the fairy dragons and the pixies that are running things around in there, and I will make sure that the bullman is taken care of.
And this is Barnabas's expression, realizing that Flitty has called him the bullman this entire time. He's not going to say anything. He's rather touched, but he just somehow didn't expect that.
Well, unfortunately, your name is kind of hard to pronounce with this face.
It's quite all right, Flitty. It's quite. I'm flattered, actually.
You haven't heard what I call everybody else.
No, but I'm looking forward to it.
Come on, but. And yes, inside it really is Spirited Away Bathhouse meets high-end spa.
Oh wow.
And you get a pixie sort of turn up and looks at Barnabas Bit and goes, "You have a fairy dragon companion, but it's common with you, yes?"
Yes.
Speaking in common, so. Okay. You went to Lennox's. I see this. Right, yes. Okay, so I am assuming hot bath with the conditioning soap?
Yes, absolutely.
Your fur has not had a condition in a while, I'm fairly sure.
You would be very correct with that.
Hoof and horn polish?
Mm-hmm.
Anything else? We have massages and hot rock sort of treatments if you're feeling particularly tense, or
No, that wouldn't be necessary. Do you guys have anything like a one-shot prestidigitation for those of us who can't cast magic? I'm just worried about. I've got a date tonight, and I'm worried about being the nervous sweating and whatnot before I get there.
Oh no! You don't have to worry about that. Our special conditioning soaps, they tend to actually be also somewhat deodoranty.
Oh wow.
People come here to prepare for special occasions where they might well sweat. But you see, the other thing is that some of the aromatherapy oil massages will give your coat quite the gloss. If you check the local timepiece, you do have time. Alice A. heard you there relatively early.
You know what? Let's go with something with one of the aromatherapy massages then. That would be. Yes, that would be a very good idea.
So yeah, they start with a quick hot tub dip, which Barnabas has not experienced a jacuzzi. Not even the Izzet League have come up with a jacuzzi, but you get to sit in one of those for 20 minutes.
This is great.
And then the aromatherapy massage, which indicates that Marta learned from these people. She had to have.
Large puddle of once was a minotaur, now just a pile of.
Yes. Then another brief 20 minutes in sauna. Then complete scrub down with. It really does bring out gloss in your fur when they stick you in. It's similar to a sauna, but instead of steam, etc., it kind of warm dries you in a way that towels have a hard time with for fur. And then effectively mani-pedi, but more horn and hoof. Buff, 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 buff. Get smooth out some of the roughened edges, because some of the terrain you walked on is kind of hard on the hooves. And they have even polished your horn jewelry and your pince-nez. And the glass in those hasn't been this clean in years.
Oh.
Plunk,
he puts the pince nez on, and it's the moment. Any of the rest of you wearing glasses knows this, where clean or a new prescription that just the world is now in hyper ultra focus. What is going on?
Yeah, and that's a 5 gold total, plus any tip you want to throw in.
He's going to be tapping 10 gold because he
I'm
hasn't felt it.
I'm assuming 10 gold total.
Yes, but he hasn't felt this good or this good, this clean, this relaxed, considering what's going to be what he's going into in years.
So very quickly, because we're coming to about that time, and we don't want to. Summary: pick up you have your box of chocolates, you have your little locket. That's all picked up without a hitch. So is the bouquet of flowers, and the cupcake coterie walks you to a surprisingly large house. I mean, it's more tall and narrow than anything else, but that's only because there's a fair bit of yard, and in that yard is a snoozing displacer beast.
Well, you must be Woofles.
Peeks, stands up, pads to the gate. And the displacer beasts are fairly big, so it really is just snoof, 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 all of you. Extra snoof, 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 snoof on Barnabas. And then just kind of and walks back to
back away a bit because of wearing cloaks.
Oh, in which case, if you're backing up, apparently showing fear is a problem.
Well, not more so much fear, just like caution.
It's
just, like,
close enough.
Enough.
It is.
This is an aberration tier animal.
Yeah.
Because I think
If she
I
starts
don't want
backing,
his kind on my back. I doubt he's gonna like that. So that was more of a
Well,
thought
that
process.
doesn't yeah, but there's still a level of fear, and
I'm gonna reach and try to like stop her from getting too far.
actually, no. If she takes a step backwards, she's going to step into Barnabas's time clone thing to prevent her from going anywhere.
because you see, here's the thing: I hadn't thought you were all wearing all of your gear. But if you're wearing the displacer cloak, then that.
I mean, if no one else is wearing their armor, I probably wouldn't. But I just
Yeah.
Well, you've now
You were, but-
that's the thing. You've now declared that you were. Because I kind of assume that you don't all wander around in full armor.
Most of my stuff is in the bag of holding for reasons.
So yeah, now paws are on the gate, leaning in Ava's direction. Snoofs the cloak, snoofs you, snoofs the cloak, snoofs you. I mean, literally face in face. Snoof, 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 snoof. With Barnabas's echo directly behind. And apparently realizes that whatever went on, you did not kill that. So you get which gets a little bit of displacer beast drool in your face, and backs off. Then looks over at Clarity, who's apparently doing that. Pad.
She's not so much showing fear as showing squee.
Yeah, that's the thing.
Exact opposite reaction.
At which point she gets kind of close in as well, but in that way that's a bit more pet me.
You're so pretty.
Alice says, yeah, you're probably never going to be able to pet a displacer beast again, so get your shot in now.
That is legitimately the cutest thing I have ever seen.
And does a sort of head butt rub in that kind of, you're mine, okay, kind of way, and then wanders back to the doghouse style thing with a pretty wood burn sign over it that says Woofles.
You did dire ass, like just literally a fucking tiger.
Yep, and gets into the house and goes back to sleep. Well, we'll head off wandering, and if just send a flitty if you're gonna do a walk of shame thing. Fist bump, shoulder bump to fist bump to the shoulder.
Thank you.
Good luck.
Have fun.
Thanks.
Yeah, good luck.
And being one of the fancier houses, this one has a doorbell, and when Cherie opens the door and, you made it okay? Nobody had any problems with Woofles?
No, actually, Clarity was actually really excited to meet him.
Well, Woofles is kind of good security. Not that there's usually that much in the way of problem, but when you're responsible for dealing with the legal element, sometimes people get grudges. Anyway, come in.
He does, and then it's like, he's basically going through everything he read and trying to make it. Remember the flow chart that he was working on in his head? Do I get flowers now? What is
flowers first? Because they have to go in water.
Right. And he goes, well, these are for you, and hands the bouquet over.
Thank you. I'll go put these in some water. If you want to take a seat in the sitting room, grab yourself a drink if you want to. This is apparently good sign number 1. It means she trusts you to wander around her home.
Oh, thank you. I will. And he.
I mean, it's a reasonable bar, actually. I mean, obviously, Amber tier liquor, but reasonable selection as well. So, they're kind of something you can put together a pre-dinner drink for. And the place is nicely decorated, but not ostentatiously. You can kind of tell that the main reason it's this clean is that somebody, probably the governor, paid for regular prestidigitation cleaning charms around the house, which has got to be one of the best uses of magic you can have. Instead of like hiring a maid, you just have, tap tap prestidigitation bling. And yeah, there is conversation. There is good sign number 2. Appetizer is generally not decided on until the person inviting knows something about the invitee's tastes. What you wind up with is miniature versions of those cabbage rolls.
Oh, wow.
Apparently done with great care, but apparently she took the trouble to find out what some of your favorites were to have them on the table as an appetizer. That is good sign number 2. Good sign number 3 is that, yes, the sourdough rolls did take their place on the table. So did the pulled pork, the mashed potatoes, and the honey butter glazed vegetables, and the chocolate bourbon pecan pie. So it went incredibly well. Dessert is around the time that the box of chocolates can be brought up, because that is good to have for coffee and afterwards.
And that's exactly where he'll bring that up.
Okay. After that, there is very much coffee and they share a few of the chocolates. That's yet another good sign. And long story short, the evening goes pretty well, particularly given that it is very much Barnabas's desire that this goes well. Overall, in terms of intimacy for the end of the evening. It's more sort of what Barnabas gets is how much longer are you going to be in Anbeer?
Well, a couple of days at minimum, but well, I was planning on coming back here as much as I can.
That I would very much like that. A couple of days is fine for what I kind of had in mind. This is I don't know how far you've gone into our ways as far as this goes, but this is very much a statement of intent for actual activity. We have a slightly different setup. Lighter meal so that you're not weighed down by anything too much. Certain different kinds of dishes. But this is the indication that this is me sharing everything else with you in preparation for that, if you see what I mean.
I do, and so with how much I've been knowing about your way of doing things, I gotta confess that I did some very hasty research on it, and have been going. I've got it down to like several flowcharts in my head about how it's this means this means this, and been kind of praying I don't screw it up the entire time.
And you see, this is why we get on very well, because I've been going over the checklist and more or less being sure that you were doing the same thing, because you are that kind of person. And I like it.
Mm-hmm.
I like that you can be this prepared and yet still be spontaneous about it. I admire that.
Thank you. And, well, as for a showing of intentions, I also do have this, and he brings out the locket at this point.
Cherie actually giggles, rummages in, because she's actually been wearing her apron the entire time, which is other good sign, because this is her comfortable at home. Reaches into her apron pocket and pulls out one with what he now recognizes as her personal symbol on it.
Oh.
Similar locket. So, how about the night before you take your leave? Obviously, I'll take whatever I can get as far as seeing you goes. Meantime, but how about the night before you leave? We make that they can do without your company overnight for one night.
Mm.
And you can do a bit more reading, because I don't think you got to that chapter of the book.
I didn't, and yes, please.
But she does very much hugs and smooches before sending Barnabas off with final good sign leftover piece of the bourbon pecan pie, so he can have it for breakfast in the morning to let the evening last that little bit longer. So you meet up with with these guys, with Flitty, going. Flitty was well received, mostly hid in the sitting room, but was invited to the table by Cherie for bites of things, because she's nice that way. But yeah, you guys meet up with Barnabas after, and he pretty much has that expression on his face.
He might be walking on his hose, but he's floating.
Okay, so it went better than Don't Wait Up.
Yeah.
But there's going to be some Don't Wait Up at some point, right?
Night before we leave.
But you're going to want to see her as much as possible.
Oh, yeah. Yes.
I probably read a little bit more of that book than you did.
I was concentrating on
the night. I know, but I'm giving you this as a heads up now. Assuming you can get some sleep tonight. Get up early. I will write down the name of the coffee shop and the baked goods shop. Bring her coffee and pastry at work.
Got it.
That
Yes.
shows your interest in her life and your support of her life. It's a thing.
Mm.
But like I say, I'll write things down, because while this has all been going on, Alice's been tapping into the gossip to find out, where what kinds of places she likes to go to and things, just to help nudge Barnabas's shippo love along. She feels very much responsible for him still being here. And if he's going to be here, it's going to be as happy as possible. Alice, be like that!
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, you guys have had to spend hours watching her go through various shops, tapping into all the various bits of gossip, and finding out everything that Barnabas would want to do as next step, so that he doesn't have to stress out finding it all himself. And she'll be kind of drip feeding him that throughout the things. But we'll leave it at Barnabas comes back to the Bone Orchard with you guys, floating, even though you can still hear his hooves on the cobblestones. And things are looking a fair bit better on the whole. And we can deal with things like what Farida and Darvin were up to, etc. Because you know that Darvin, at the very least, is going to have questions about what happened. But for the time being, we'll leave it there, and I'll see you in 2 weeks' time.
See you in 2 weeks.